Would I be the asshole for suing my friend because she didn't come to my wedding? I, 25 female, recently got married to my 25 male husband in Bali, Indonesia. It was a destination wedding. My parents and his parents paid for their own plane tickets and hotel, but we paid for all of our friends. Each plane ticket was $2,000 and the hotel was $150 to $300 for a week. My friend Gemma brought along her newlywed husband John, but paid for his plane ticket while I paid for hers. The problem is that Gemma and John did not attend my wedding. Gemma took advantage of the free plane ticket to Bali and the free hotel room, and later told me that since they couldn't afford their own honeymoon, this was a perfect opportunity for them to take it. I was shocked and hurt by this since Gemma and I have been friends for over 10 years. Would I be the asshole if I took her to small claims court for the money I spent on the plane ticket and hotel?
I don't think you would be an asshole. I really don't. Truly. Would it be worth it? I don't think so. Like, would that be worth it to invest all that emotional debt to somebody who clearly does not care about you? Is that really worth it? I have a very deep disdain for taking a moment and that should be somebody else's and making it about you. Weddings, baby showers, anything where it's like, oh, someone's birthday and then being like, oh, surprise.
Oh my God.
And you're like, you just ruined this thing I had. Occasionally, it's fine. And, you know, maybe the people have a really good relationship and you've been, I don't know, waiting for a pregnancy announcement and that's your birthday present. And how fun is that? That like you've been waiting to celebrate your friend. Totally cool, whatever. But to take something like a destination wedding and turn it into your honeymoon, or if you're going to do that, do it privately. Don't say anything and go to the wedding.
Right.
You could have gotten, I mean, you really could have still taken advantage of that to be like, hey, thank you so much for this, you know, travel. We're so excited to be there to celebrate you. We are going to stay an extra week and we're going to make this our honeymoon after it. I don't want it to take away from you. I don't want it to take away from your moment, but just skipping the wedding that's incredibly hurtful.
First of all, this is a massive breach of trust and a staggering level of entitlement. I mean, OP went above and beyond to include her friend in her wedding, and she treats that generosity as a travel voucher for her own honeymoon. I mean, that's crazy. But the takeaway here is that the universe just gave OP a crystal clear audit of her inner circle. Those who showed up and celebrated her are true friends. Those who went sightseeing across Bali and never even showed up for any of the week-long events, not true friends. And so now it's pretty obvious to her who they are. But I will say there's more to this story because there is an update. Yeah, these things have updates. I emailed Gemma this. Sorry for being so distant, but I just wanted to talk to you about Bali. I'm hurt that you didn't show up to the ceremony. I pulled a lot of strings to ensure that you could come, and then you didn't show up. Did you think I paid for the trip just so you can honeymoon with John? She replied, I've missed you a lot, and I know the trip was for your wedding, but John didn't want to go because he felt like your wedding ruined the illusion of the trip being our honeymoon. He thought you'd understand. I replied, no, I don't understand. You took advantage of me, and that's not what real friends do. So I'm invoicing you $2,300 for the cost of the plane ticket and hotel. I will give you 30 days, and after that, I will be taking legal action. I received no response, but she's been posting subliminal quotes on Instagram that are along the lines of entitled friends and having snakes in your life.
First of all, what a terrible husband. Like,
right?
I mean, what a sad person that she's married to. Not only did he not really care about OP, but he doesn't really care about his wife or her relationships, because if that's the advice he's giving her, I don't really believe that he believes that OP wouldn't care. That's like a psychotic thing to think, she won't mind if we don't go to her wedding. What? Like, there's no world where that makes sense to me. But also, good for OP for saying, listen, I'm going to give you an opportunity to make this right. Our friendship is over. Clearly, that's what that email states. You know, I'm not interested in being your friend anymore. But I am going to give you an opportunity to, like, make this right and make it up to me. I'm expressing that my feelings are hurt. You're not going to be able to, like, fix my feelings because I'm not interested in being your friend anymore. But you can fix my wallet by giving me the $2,300 I spent for you to be there for me back. The Instagram posting We've all experienced someone that you know is posting about you, and you're like, just tag me. Just tag me. If you're going to do this silly nonsense, just go ahead and tag me. Like, this is stupid. Or at least answer my email. I mean, at this point, like, come on. What are you, 12? Like, this is really silly. I feel terrible for her. Also, I think big life moments put a huge microscope to your life and show you who is helpful, who is important, who values you, and who is maybe, like, not in a place to do that in their life. They're still maybe more self-centered or jealous of you or whatever that feeling is that they have about you that doesn't actually allow them to be a good friend. Unfortunately, I think weddings and babies and divorces can a lot of times, and death can show you a lot of times who is real and who is not. And it's an unfortunate like heaviness to have in those times. But take it or leave it. That's what the universe is giving you. So,
well, you said it's important, again, for OP not to let this incident tarnish the memories of her wedding. The further she goes down this rabbit hole, it could be the kind of thing she will always refer back to in her mind. As part of the whole, like, hey, wasn't it wonderful that we got married? Do you remember what my best friend did?
Right.
Here's an update part 2. I didn't think this could get any worse, but here we are. I didn't respond to any of the subliminal messages she posted about me on social media, and I've been very quiet while I've been getting my ducks in a row for potential litigation. But this past Friday, she sent me a 3-page audit of financial and emotional contributions from 2015 to the present. I wish I was joking. She itemized every dinner or lunch we've ever shared. She estimated $18 per meal, gas money for driving to and from hangouts, a birthday gift from 2017 that she now claims she went into debt for, time spent emotionally supporting me after my dad passed away. She said she took on the role of grief counselor, even though I talked to her on the phone about it once for 30 minutes. One time, she helped me move apartments. She wants to be paid for her labor. And emotional distress caused by me threatening litigation. What do you think of that?
I think this goes back to what I said at first. Like, do you really want to take on the emotional toll of it? Because people are weird. And when they get put in positions of being uncomfortable or like maybe feeling defensive about things, they make strange choices. I think death a lot of times is a really good depiction of that, where like someone was a perfectly normal human being, their parent passes away, and they're unable to cope with that or maybe have a relationship with their siblings anymore. Yeah. This is the part to, do you really want to go down this path? Like, is this really important to you? It's not surprising to me. And clearly she's married to somebody who is willing to push her into that direction instead of being like, hey, I didn't mean to hurt your friend's feelings. Like, I'm really sorry. I think we should just apologize and maybe we can make it up to them in some way. That's what you get from people who are just unwilling to accept fault out of anything.
And I think these days, unfortunately, there are examples out there of people who never apologize for anything they do that's obviously wrong. They never want to admit they're wrong. And that's setting a bad example for everybody else. I do think that Gemma's husband, John, is probably the guy behind a lot of this. He seems to be the one who's egging things on. You know, we've seen that sometimes where like you don't recognize what you think your friend is saying. And then you kind of look a little deeper and you realize they're just being told to say that. I mean, it's her fault for listening to him. But if she would have just been sincere and said, I really did something terrible. I'm sorry about this. You know, I don't have $2,000, maybe is the truth. What can I do to help, you know, make it up in some way? That would go a long way. She would have been like, you know what, let it go. She probably would have been okay with it. It's just when you're not treated respectfully and you're diminished, like, oh, I figured you'd understand. We're just going to ditch every event and just go on a trek like it's our own honeymoon. Like, what? That's a slap in the face, right?
A total slap in the face. Yeah.
Yeah. But, you know, you actually triggered another thought. I do remember that one of my cousins years ago got married to a guy. They went to college together. They had a wonderful relationship. And she was older than me. So my brother and I always looked up to him. He was cool. He'd go out in the backyard, throw the football around with us. And then, like, you know, they got married. We were at the wedding. And like, I think 2 years later or so, we find out that they're having these huge problems. And, you know, it's hard for us to imagine because we liked him and obviously we like her. Turns out that his dad had passed away suddenly. and he came unglued. So he just kind of went off the rails and started treating everybody kind of strangely. And so obviously that's what triggered their ultimate divorce. So like you said, I actually agree with you. Sometimes some big life change or a death in the family can really just throw a wrench into everything.
Yeah. I also think in situations like that, and even in this story situation, it's also important to remember that we're all just people living for the first time. So at some point, Gemma also may decide that, like, I was with this person who allowed me to treat people poorly and I made a mistake, and she may come back at some point and say sorry. If OP's open to not completely being like, never talk to me again, I hate you, blah, 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 but being like, hey, this friendship is not working for me right now. I can't have a relationship with you when you're with someone who lets you treat me like this. I don't remember this being our friendship. Being really honest, leave some space for at some point for Gemma to come to her and be like, oh my God, you were right. Behind closed doors, this is the way it was happening. I had no thoughts of my own. And all I can ever hope for people like that is that you grow up. You grow up. You don't have to know what to say. You don't have to know the right thing to do. You might not even have the $2,300. But just saying, I'm sorry, this is why I did this, and I apologize for hurting your feelings.
That's all it is. While there's breath, there's life. And so there's always a chance, there's always an opportunity to open that door again. Might be a while, but hey, there's always a chance.